If someone disrespects you, do this. If someone disrespects you, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do so this never happens again, but you also regain power in this interaction. Let's get right into it. Number one, do not react emotionally. One of the biggest mistakes that men make when someone disrespects them is that they react emotionally, right? When somebody is disrespecting you, they're essentially poking at you and testing you. They're trying to see just how much of a bitch you are. They're trying to see just how much of a weak person you are. And weak people react emotionally. Weak people crash out. Weak people, they lose their mind. Strong men who know who they are, right, but also don't tolerate BS, they're not gonna start being frantic and acting like a child, right? They're gonna do several things in key steps to make sure this never happens again. The reason why you don't wanna act emotionally or react emotionally is the person that acts weak loses power. The person who loses control loses power. If you can't control yourself emotionally, man, you're gonna be manipulated emotionally, right? You don't wanna be manipulated emotionally. There are a lot of prideful men right now sitting in jail for the rest of their lives because they didn't know how to react with emotion. They didn't know how to control themselves. When somebody disrespected them, their first reaction was to lose everything. Their first reaction was to, I want to show you that I'm a man. I will guarantee you, most of the men who are sitting in jail, yeah, some of them have, mental disorders and stuff like that. That's given. But a lot of those guys, man, they don't know how to control themselves. Some interaction happened, some situation happened, and they didn't know how to show their dominance without literally unaliving someone or doing something crazy. If you commit crimes, you're just emotionally weak because the world has a way of order. The world has a way things are supposed to be done, right? There are rules and regulations to the world that we live in. And if you can't establish your dominance within the rules and regulations, then you're not really strong. If you have to necessarily break the rules to show that you're a man, you're not really strong, because there are plenty of strong men who don't necessarily break the rules and are still respected. So if you get disrespected, let's say somebody curses you out, they call you the B word, they tell you to fuck off, they tell you whatever it is, all right? And you just start acting emotional, you lost control. The reason why this is so important is because being calm is lethal. Think about the people that you fear the most. Are they rowdy? Are they exuberant? Do they scream and yell? There's a saying that goes, the loudest in the room is usually the person that's the weakest. And that's true. One of my favorite fighters, I love the UFC, I love combat sports. One of my favorite fighters right now is Alex Pereira, right? The Brazilian champion. He's no longer a champion, but Pereira has this like calm demeanor. He doesn't scream or yell. I don't think I've ever seen him scream. I don't think I've ever seen him yell. Even in defeat, the guy is very calm, toned, chill, right? But when he gets in that ring, he puts your lights out. He knocks you into the shadow realms. He fucking dominates you, destroys you, right? That's what a man is to me. That demeanor is how you should be as a man. If you look at him and I know this is a sport, but I think fighting is the closest thing that you're going to get to your primal nature as a man. That's why I really believe that every man needs to learn how to fight, not just because you can go around punching people. As a matter of fact, it makes you, in my opinion, less violent. Learning how to fight makes you more calm. And one of the things I like about Pereira is, if you look at him at press conferences, when people are like, they're trying to show their oh, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do this. He's just like, yep, calm, relax, does his walkout, comes in the ring and knocks you out. All that excess energy, all that screaming and yelling did nothing because he knows who he is. And if you are a very confident man, you don't have to react emotionally. Your actions are gonna speak louder than your words. But you damn sure don't want the person across from you to think, ah, damn, look how easily I got him. Look how easily I was able to get him riled up. Look how easy I was able to get this person to react in the way I wanted them to react. I controlled them emotionally now. I can just say words and I can have him act a certain way. I have a lot of power. You give them more power by letting their words affect you that way. Okay, so you cannot react emotionally. Don't lose your life. Don't lose everything you ever worked for because you can't control yourself in the instant moment. The second thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna look them in the eyes and you're gonna set the boundary once. And the way you're gonna do this is you're gonna tell them whatever they said to you, whatever they did to you, you're gonna tell them, you're never gonna do that to me again. Easy, just like that. That's it. I don't appreciate that disrespect. Don't do that to me again. calm, relax, chill. I guarantee you're gonna strike some fear in people's hearts. Let's say you curse a dude out and he's calm and relaxed. He said, hey man, don't ever talk to me like that again. He ain't yelling, he ain't screaming. What's funny about psychology, right, and like humans, is that somebody's reaction tends to change your reaction. So if they're screaming and yelling and you start screaming and yelling, they just start screaming and yelling even more. But if they're screaming and yelling and then you are very, very calm, it actually makes them fearful. They're like, whoa, wait a second. Why is he calm and relaxed? Right? Pereira doesn't have to scream at you. Him just looking at you is going to scare you. So, because you know what the outcome could be. And he doesn't have to waste unnecessary energy. So you want to look that person in the eye and you want to tell them, don't ever do that again. I don't appreciate that disrespect. I don't appreciate you talking to me like that. Now, a lot of people, they confuse this as letting things slide. And no, I'm going to break down to you why in some cases you might have to be violent. We rather not get to that, but you at least want to stop this from happening. Because as a man, you're going to be challenged in life, and you trying to mitigate those challenges so they don't escalate to violence are very, very important. But letting somebody just walk you around, dog walk you, ain't gonna happen either. I'm definitely not preaching that over here. But you want to make sure that when somebody disrespects you, you look them in the eye, you tell them, don't ever do that again. And now they have to be ready for whatever consequences come after. They have to be ready. You warned them. You didn't start screaming and yelling back at them. A lot of times, especially if you have a good physical presence, and this is something that's very, very important, man. I don't know how much I can stress this. I'm not saying that you need to go become Ronnie Coleman, but guys, having a good physical presence will eliminate a lot of the disrespect. I'm telling you, bro, I have been very rarely disrespected in my life since I got in great shape. It doesn't happen. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching this, who is in great shape, you can attest for the same thing. Since you've gotten some muscle, you've gotten in good shape, how often are people trying you? It's not very often, because human beings, we do something called risk analysis. And I learned this in engineering. I literally took a class called risk analysis, right? And literally you have to analyze risk. And we human beings, we do this in real time. Would you rather fight a skinny, scrawny guy who looks like you can fling him across the room, or a big swole dude that even if he doesn't know how to fight, you got to know how to fight? That's the problem that people don't get about. I see all these memes. They're like, oh man, these bodybuilders, all those muscles ain't gonna stop a punch. That's cool. I know how to fight. I've been training boxing for several years. I'm not a professional fighter. Wouldn't even consider myself an amateur fighter. But I know how to throw a punch. I know how to defend myself. Not saying I'm gonna beat Bud Crawford or Canelo, but I'm not somebody you're just gonna come up to and just, you're not gonna talk to me crazy. But here's the thing, right? I'm going back to this physical presence thing, because I want to help you guys mitigate this from ever happening. A big swole dude, let's say a guy, he doesn't have to be Ronnie Coleman. Let's say he's in really good shape. The guy looks like he works out. You can see his arms from his shirt. Even if he can't fight, you're gonna be reluctant because you're gonna have to know how to really fight. Do you see what I'm saying? If somebody is just physically imposing, your skill, I don't know how people never talk about this. They always talk about how, oh, if you're big and swole, you gotta learn. That ain't gonna stop you from a punch, right? The whole, I know I'm going off track, but the whole Bradley Martin debate, what Bradley Martin says, like he could take on UFC fighters because he's like 6'2", 250. There's some argument in that. Not saying that he can beat them up, but what him being imposing, right? And I've even seen him wrestle some people, even him with no experience, he can hold his own a little bit. When somebody's physically imposing, your skill has to be higher, even if they have no skill, just off the strength. Does that make sense? Follow me here. Even if I am a world-class championship boxer, right? And somebody's just, let's say he's like 6'5", swole. I have to make sure that I'm really good so I can knock him out. It ain't gonna be no, oh, I can just do him any kind of way and he's gonna go away. I have to be really good. So yeah, people who have muscle, that doesn't mean that they are pro fighters, but they have a level of strength that is visible. So you're gonna have to be good to be able to beat them. And like, you're gonna have to be efficient. You might not want to wrestle with them because they're probably stronger than you. You're not going to want to tussle with them because they might be able to just slam you. A big meathead that might not know how to throw a punch Let's say he tackles you and gets you on the ground. Now it's fair game. His strength wins. So what I'm saying all this to say this. I'm not saying, oh, just go put on a bunch of muscle and your problems are gonna go away. You need to know how to fight. But what I'm saying is human beings take risk analysis. We analyze risk, meaning I'm not gonna go pick the big swole dude to pick on. That's what I'm getting at here, man. I'm not gonna say, you know what? FedEx Fearless, the dude who's 8% body fat, walking around, I can see his damn muscles through the shirt. I'm not gonna say, you know what, him, let me go try to bully him. It's not gonna happen. I wouldn't do it. If I was trying to pick on somebody and I'm not a bully whatsoever, I wouldn't go say, yeah, let me go pick the biggest dude I can find. Our brains don't work that way. So a lot of the disrespect is gonna come from people looking at you and not being physically intimidated by you. You don't have a choice as a man but to get in good shape, but to be physically imposing, because people are gonna try you. Men are gonna try you. Men know. Even if they know how to fight, they're gonna have to be good. They're gonna have to be efficient to beat somebody who's just more physically imposing. You know what I'm saying? Let's just use an example. Let's say a basketball player, like let's say Shaq. I don't think Shaq is a world champion boxer, but would you go pick on Shaq? He'll literally flick you. Even if you could fight, even if you got the best hands in the world, you might not even be able to reach him. Like, so that's what I'm talking about. That is more of a hype than do anything. But physically imposing matters a lot. It matters a lot. So take care of your body, make sure you look good so people don't try you to begin with. But if they do try you, you let them know that you're not gonna tolerate that, and let them be ready for what's about to come next. Third thing is, you're gonna try to walk away. You're gonna try to walk away. If you check them, if you give them that boundary and you can see it escalating, you're gonna try to walk away. Guys, we're trying to be successful men over here. We're trying to make millions of dollars a year, millions of dollars a month. Like, we don't got time to be going in and out of jail, all this stupid shit. Whenever, like, I'm somebody with a very hot temper, right? I'm very hot tempered. And even myself, I think one of my greatest strengths is that I'm very aware of analyzing my weaknesses and strengths and trying to at least fix it. So I know I'm very high tempered, but then I ask myself, okay, Bismarck, you're high tempered. If you go do something stupid, all this hard work you put in is gone. All these goals you say you have are gone. Everything you ever say you want to accomplish is gone. So are you high tempered or are you just stupid? I literally had this conversation with myself. Are you really high tempered or you're just dumb? Because I don't give a fuck how high tempered I am. I don't give a fuck, because my mom tells me I'm the same way as my dad. My dad was the same way. I'm very like, we got high blood pressure in our family. We get riled up. And I'm just like, this does not serve me. Me being, no matter what, this personality trait does not serve me. Because if I was to continue and just say, oh, I'm just high tempered, I'm just a high tempered person, and then I get into altercations with someone, and then it gets to something physical and I go to jail or risk my livelihood, what the fuck? I'm just dumb. I'm not high tempered. I'm stupid. I'm not intelligent. Because being intelligent is being able to be aware of awareness. I think intelligence has a lot to do with awareness. Being aware of who you are, right? And analyzing what's the best thing to do. Yes, I'm high tempered, but I'm not gonna sit up here and get in arguments that risk everything. I'm gonna try to walk away. I'm gonna let them know that I don't tolerate the BS, and I'm gonna give them a chance to walk away. And I'm gonna walk away. Now, if they physically try to hit me, it's on. This is why you gotta know how to fight. Because I am not gonna sit up here and let no man punch me, slap me, and then I'm not gonna go, no way. So, we're gonna be calm. We're gonna look them in the eyes and set the boundary. We're gonna try to walk away, or it's gonna proceed to violence. We're gonna do everything in our power to de-escalate the situation. So if it does get to that point, hey, you tried to walk away. This person kept, at that point, it becomes self-defense. Whatever you do to him, whatever happens, right? You tried to walk away. So you protect yourself. I don't want you guys instigating fights. I don't want you guys, you shouldn't even be. De-escalate. If it gets to violence, you tried. Do everything in your power to get it away from violence. Because here's why, right? The more and more successful you are, you're gonna meet more and more idiots who are gonna try you. They're gonna try you because they don't have anything to lose. Do you understand? As a successful man, you're making a lot of money. This motherfucker that's trying you, he doesn't give a fuck if you beat him up. He doesn't care if he beats you up. It's a win-win for him. Because whatever happens, he could sue you. It's so stupid. Don't do everything in your power to walk away. It is no win for you. You beat him up, he sues you, you got a lawsuit. Now you got a battery charge. Now you got to beat this case. Now you got to be in court. Now you're missing work. Now you're missing trying to grow your business. Now shit is changing. Your schedule is flipping around because you got court hearings. You got lawsuits. Fuck this. These are conversations I have with myself. I'm high tempered, but do I want to miss several weeks of growing my business, changing the world, because I want to go fight a fucking idiot who has nothing to lose? He doesn't give a fuck if he misses work. He's broke. My business means the world to me. My goals mean the world to me. So I would rather walk away and be the bitch in that moment, but still have my empire that I'm building, and you feel good about yourself, and you walk away, you still damn broke. Because I'm not going to be losing money for you. This is maturing at the next level. I realized, like, damn, bro, this is like a testament to me growing up. Like, the FedEx Felix I am 5 years ago, those words would never come out of my mouth. I would have been trying to look for the problem. And I'm just not that person anymore because it's not worth it. You're not worth it to me. I would just walk away. I'm rich. You're a bum. Any man that's trying to fight and or do stupid shit, you don't have nothing to lose. The most successful people I know, they're trying to stay away from trouble as possible because all the rich people I know, the people who are way more successful than me, they try to avoid as much problems because it's a lose-lose. They gain nothing from it. Got to get your lawyers involved. It's like, what's the point? And that brings me to my last thing, upgrading your circle. See, I just mentioned about people I know and people I see that are successful. This mindset has come from analyzing the people who I look up to, who I see are just very successful. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a month. These people are the most calm, reserved people I've ever seen in my life. As I've made more money, I've had an opportunity to meet more successful people. And the dudes who are really, really balling, they don't want no issues. They trying to stay away from as many problems as possible. They don't even like being around people. Think about it like this, right? Let's say you make 20 million a year. All right, let's say you making around $1 million a month, $1.5 million a month. All right, you really balling, right? You're a younger guy, and I'm giving this example of someone I actually know. Let's say you making 1.5, 2 million a month, and you're young. You got literally up against the grain with the amount of shit that you can do wrong. When you get that fucking successful that young, that's scary because you can do everything wrong. You can fuck this shit up. All right, so they try to be away from people. They don't want to be involved. They want to have their own things. I'm like, I get it. Cause what's the point? Man, nobody arguing with you bums. Like, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. My life is good. So upgrade your circle, man. You see that the people who are really getting after it, the people who have a lot of shit to lose, they're not trying to be in no altercations. You think billionaires sit up there and fucking fight? You think billionaires in the streets looking for altercations? They're trying to help each other out, make more billions. They're trying to, how do we get this? How do we launch this? How do we fucking buy this business? They're over here worrying about the real important things. So if your friend group and people around you are not inspiring you to be a more level-headed, calm, successful person, then you need to upgrade. So you get out that environment and be around people who really getting after it. And this is exactly what you do if someone disrespects you. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll get back with you guys next time.